So an interesting development regarding dancehall is the rise or push of tropical house. This is described as a genre with elements of dancehall, and the lines between one and the other appears to be blurred, especially when the tropical house is mixed in with, or when the music avails a music video, for example, because the video has some effect. Think about the case where the video has some native dancehall moves mixed in with this tropical house thing, as they call it, and a lot of people seem to have no problem with it. They think it's just an extension of dancehall or support of dancehall, but I beg to differ. With all the things that are attending the culture right now, it is prudent to ask whether dancehall is being taken advantage of, because it's being treated as a tool that many are using to make money off of. And we have to think about the economic aspect of it as well as the cultural aspect. When it's being called tropical house, I feel like it's just another way to usurp, another way to steal from the culture, another way to take resources and money and earnings from the culture. If you listen to like a Justin Bieber song, Sorry, which was a huge song, it borrows heavily from dancehall, not just the dancehall moves that the dancers are doing or just the beat itself, but the whole energy. It's a dancehall energy, it's a dancehall vibe, and we have to be mindful of that kind of thing. To me, tropical house just seems like just a picking apart of the dancehall culture. It's just another form of economic raid on our island and culture. Then again, you see Justin Bieber with the Canadian link, just like the Drake / Dracula, Tory Lanez, Party Next Door, maybe even Rihanna, via a different Canadian route. In terms of reggae, you have groups like Magic. Snow is Canadian also. So that's a thing. That's happening, and we need to be mindful of it. Some people may say, why are you so concerned? It's just a name. They think, what's in a name? But it's more than just a name. A name is how we identify ourselves. It's how we define ourselves. It's how we may be defined and identified by others. The name represents the identity and the very being, spirit of the culture itself. And even with the arguable benefits of tropical house, even with these benefits, we should realize that they come at a cost. There is the belief that if we get a little hype now, a little recognition now, dancehall benefits later down the line. The trickle-down effect. But I don't think we need that pull-up. A matter of fact, we're one of the most forceful pull factors on the planet right now. And if we realize the nature of our strength in relation to other dominant music forces out there, we would recognize that the balance of power has shifted in our favor for a while now. Just look at the Billboard and Western Top 40 charts over the last several months. No, the name is out there, the culture is out there, the demand is out there, and it might not be forever. That demand might be dependent on our actions now. Our actions, our native actions in Jamaica that will influence what continues on the outside, that continues in the rest of the world or abroad. It's not just outside forces. Internal actors contribute to the potential metaphysical challenges as well. Take Jamaican artist Omi's hit, Cheerleader, where people might say, yes, Jamaican music, big pon Billboard once more. Only Omi's not dancehall, at least not in his internationally presented form. I mean, the original Cheerleader song was more dancehall or was more of the culture. But the thing about the remix, Felix Jane basically stripped it down, and it was Ultra's push that gave it that boost in the vein of EDM. If you call that Jamaican music, and if you allow that kind of representation abroad, you therefore compound the existing and further impending metaphysical challenges. It limits our ability for redress when other people are doing music with less depth regarding dancehall, music less representative of the culture and the people and the way we behave and do things, and less meeting of our expectations of what is good. At least one can hope. Ultimately, we're doing ourselves a disservice when we accept poor or inadequate representatives and representations of our culture and our music. When a Justin Bieber dancehall driven song is allowed to be called tropical house, without so much as a peep from us, when we allow Drake to be representative of what we're doing, or a Tory Lanez or a Party Next Door or a Rihanna. Let's not forget Rihanna with the Dothraki song. Or Ed Sheeran being the face of the music. Oh, and let's not forget Snoop Dogg or Snoop Lion or whatever he goes by nowadays. His quote-unquote transition from gangster rap to conscious Rasta, making non-Jamaican music and being nominated for a reggae Grammy. Snoop Dogg didn't just make a gimmick of reggae culture. He slight Rastafari spirituality in pursuit of a Grammy. When we allow these things, especially unchallenged, then we kind of put in ourselves in a box, and the box is being shaped by outsiders. And if we put ourselves in that box, shaped by outsiders, created by outsiders, locked by outsiders, with the keys being held by outsiders, then we can't come out of that box. We might be able to come out, but it's going to be difficult. So we box in ourselves and box in our culture, repackaging ourselves instead of just being who we are. We are dancehall, we are Jamaica, we are patois, our own language, and we don't want to do that. We want to do something that we think is more convenient and more palatable and more desirable by others. But if we do it, when we do, we realize that we are shaping the music in the eyes and hearts of foreigners, and then they do their own music. When we shape the music for foreigners, foreigners take that shape and run with it. Then we can't run with them because they have a bigger machine, bigger distribution. Then they become the representation, the representative image and objects of dancehall, and people get used to seeing that, at least internationally, and say, oh, this is dancehall by Ed Sheeran, this is dancehall by Drake. We like it, it's okay. We're validating our disadvantage or usurpation or exploitation, and we need to recognize those mistakes we're making. And another thing, there's the talk that we do not speak a clear language or a language that everybody understands. So there are those who say we should sing in more English, put more English in the music. They think we should essentially anglicize the music. Imagine that. Anglicize dancehall. Let that sink in for a minute. And this is what I'm talking about. If we move to the beat of the foreign drum and forget our own rhythm and not dance with our own rhythm and not make our own rhythms, not just figuratively but practically, then we continue to be shaped by foreigners. If I could quote or paraphrase one African dancehall artist, Winky D, in a BBC interview I was watching recently, and he's doing dancehall. In the clip, the man looks like he takes his lessons straight out of a Beanie Man performance, and he's from Zimbabwe. When asked about changing his language, he sings in his native language, but he speaks real clear English, and he said, why should I change the language to English? Music itself is a language. I think that would be a good lesson for us to adopt. A healthy proposition. Music, reggae music, dancehall music is its own language, and we need to desist from this idea that we need to change everything or so many things about us and model ourselves more to a foreign audience, and by doing so we try to do everything in English and forget that we're Jamaican with our own language, our own patois dialect, which is the rhythm to which we move and that which helps to inform our sound. It is our culture and we should own it. Finally, how do we move on from here? Dancehall, like any other genre, increases its opportunities when the music is embraced internationally, and it definitely needs allies. Anywhere one goes in life or any big movements made, one often needs allies. But this relationship between us and allied forces or allied entities must be on our own terms. Because it's dancehall. We shouldn't be sharing, a sort of almost sharing by coercion. If they want to support us, if they want to benefit from it, we need to call the shots. Essentially, we need a dancehall agenda, a dancehall cultural agenda. We need to define a direction and a way forward. And if we don't do that, then we're simply going to be controlled and move to the whims of whoever likes us or whoever is feeling dancehall right now, or whoever is trying to make a wagon of dancehall and jump on. It's not a wagon, but some people treat it like that. They hop on and they will hop off quickly. They will quickly hop off. And we're dancehall. This is our culture. This is what we have. This is what we should hold on to. This is what we should embrace. We are the custodians, and we should be careful how we promote it, and be careful whether we support different people, and be careful how it's treated. We need allies, but to be dependent on foreign artists being the voice of the culture while local artists play a supporting role underserves the culture. Not only does this cost us economically, but it underserves the culture. It does us no good. And yes, there are indigenous issues affecting the industry which need attention, whether it be production, whether it be the style, the way people are making music, whatever it is, whether it be the content, because some content is sensitive in certain parts of the world where they might not like what we have to say, and it will not sell or even be considered offensive. Those indigenous issues are real, and I'm not dismissing them, but we need to be mindful of the external factors, the bigger factors, the overarching asymmetries in creativity and economic power that exists, because those are the real issues that are hurting dancehall. The whole idea of foreign artists coming to exploit because they can. Not simply that they can because they want to, but because we allow them to. We are the ones that give them the dominion over us and the power over our industry. And we are the ones that legitimize this kind of nonsense. This music, when we support it and we cheer it and we refuse to condemn and criticize their music when they do malformed dancehall, so to speak. We give them legitimacy when we support it and we cheer it and we refuse to condemn and criticize it. We give them legitimacy, and we can take back that legitimacy by cultural action, by our condemnation, by us criticizing them when they do wrong, by us holding them in contempt. So there are crucial matters in the international aspect of dancehall as well as the local facility. But as a matter of course, we have to have this discussion because the debate over the state of the industry from all different perspectives is necessary and welcome. And unless we're willing to have this debate and discussion, then we're going to be stuck in this cycle of wondering why others are benefiting from what we create while we continue to suffer. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. See you soon.